Bro, what can you say about this game last night? What gets me the most aggravated about this game last night, as bad as it was, the fact, Darnold obviously is not playing. Simeon gets knocked out of the game, early in the game. And by the way, it'd be nice if Kelvin Beachum could actually maybe lay a finger on Myles Garrett, or maybe they actually should help, so have somebody help him trying to block the guy. But with that said, okay, with all that, as bad as it looked, the Jets actually had a shot in this game. And if the head coach was competent, but we know he's brilliant. He's a brilliant offensive mind. We know that. The great quarterback whisperer, as Evan points out all the time. He bought coffee once for Peyton Manning. Okay? The great one. The great Adam Gase, who lit up the room with the brilliant owner, Christopher Johnson, and he didn't want to hire Mike McCarthy. He couldn't wait to give Gase the keys to the castle. And I know the Jets stunk. The offense was not good. We understand all of that. But they had chances in this game. Should we start? What do we talk about first, bro? The penalties, which were horrible, and the Jamal Adams roughing the passer cost him 3 points. The defensive holding on Hairston cost them a touchdown, and when they were off the field on a fourth down.
There was something that eclipsed everything by far in my eyes.
Go ahead.
Something that was it's coach related.
Go ahead.
Something that was so bad and so pathetic that it spent. Basically, the entire half, I was cursing him out as Steven Matz allowed Sensatella to tie the game and then Trevor's Story.
I know.
And that is the fact that this coach quit on his team right before the half.
He did.
Quit on him.
No question about it.
He quit on him.
That's a good way to look at it.
That's the way I looked at it.
Yeah.
This coach decided with 1:45 to go and all 3 timeouts and Cleveland about to be on fourth down, I'm not going to call a timeout. Yeah. I'm going to let Cleveland clearly go to the line of scrimmage, waste every second on the play clock, take a delay of game penalty, and then punt the football away. And then I'm going to go into a shell with 48 seconds to go, and there should have been a hell of a lot more time. And then Cleveland's using timeouts because the Browns knew, hey, we'll get the ball back. Well, you had a head coach basically say, I know we have no shot. I'm not even going to try. Yep. And that's exactly what happened at the end of the first half, and it was disgraceful.
Well, it didn't help that he actually tries to throw a pass. What was that all about? I mean, I think Cleveland only had 2 timeouts left. They could have got out of here without doing anything and just running the ball and going to the locker room down 13-3. Why didn't he do that?
Well, once you decide not to use a timeout, then, you're clearly let's get the hell out of there.
And he's throwing passes. He throws that pass over the middle to Bellamy, who should have caught it, by the way.
It was a drop by Bellamy.
He should have caught it. The play was there. But what are you doing? Get out of there. Because you knew they were getting the ball back, and you knew they were going to score points after that.
What I don't understand is if you don't think the offense is capable of doing anything, which clearly Adam Gase showed you, and you are just going to let the clock expire and go to halftime, then why come out for the second half? Why play?
Right, well,
what's the point?
I would have done that, though, bro. I would have got out of there 13-3. They had no field position. They were on their own 10-yard line.
No, but that with 1:40 to go,
that's
if you
different.
Call a time.
Yeah, he should have called timeout before the punt. You're talking about before they punted.
Before the punt.
No question about it.
Once you
decide.
You're
100% right about that.
Once Gase quit on his team and didn't call a timeout, no, I agree. Then go to halftime.
Right.
You've committed to that.
Right, of course.
You can't go halfway.
No.
He went halfway.
He did.
But when he doesn't call a timeout with 1:40 to go and lets the Browns just milk the clock, we all knew they weren't going for it, he quit. The guy quit. And if he's such an offensive genius, they find a way to do something more than 3 points.
Yep, I know.
But it's the quarterback, it's the offense. Now, here's a built-in excuse for this guy. It's everybody else's fault. Yeah. It's not going to be his fault. Meanwhile, what the hell has this guy ever accomplished in the last 10 years?
Well, not only that, but let's go when it's still a game. Let's go to 16-3 now in the third quarter. They still got a shot in this game because the defense has actually played pretty well. I mean, let's be honest. Defense wasn't bad in this game. And by the way, great job by Greg Williams benching that stiff Trumaine Johnson. Good job by him.
He actually got in the game late.
Yeah, because Hurston got hurt. That's the only reason.
No, I know.
That's the only reason.
He had to put him in garbage time.
Right, he had to put him in the game.
Yeah.
But I give Williams all the credit for doing that. But with that said, 16-3, they're still in the game. They actually have a nice drive. They're going down the field. Couple nice passes to Robbie. All of that with Falk at quarterback. Now they're on the 11-yard line, down only 13. It's only the third quarter. 3rd and 2. Le'Veon Bell, he's your offense. 3rd and 2. Don't you give the ball twice to Le'Veon Bell on 3rd and 2? No, not the quarterback whisperer, not him. He throws the ball into the end zone. What are you doing? And then on 4th down, Under pressure, Falk barely gets rid of the ball to Le'Veon, and Le'Veon just can't get there for the first down by a half a yard. And that was the game. The next play is the touchdown to Beckham, and we go to sleep.
The king
Unbelievable.
of drawing up plays short of the first down marker, even on 4th and 2.
Unbelievable.
On 3rd and 2 from the Cleveland 12-yard line,
Gotta run the
you've
ball,
got
bro.
Le'Veon Bell.
Got to give Bell the ball.
Give him a chance to get that first down.
Of course.
And you're right. It's not that if they get in the end zone, the Jets are going to win this game, but it's a different game.
It's a different game.
It's a football
They're
game.
in the game. Anything can happen.
You never know. You force one bad Baker Mayfield turnover, and things can change.
And the Browns would, let's be honest, I know Beckham made a couple plays. The Browns were no world beaters in this game.
No, not at all.
Give me a break.
Miles Garrett was a world beater.
Yeah, he
I know.
All right, he abused Beecham in this
right,
game.
and we can simply say Kelvin Beecham stinks, which he does.
Right.
But Miles Garrett was a man possessed.
Right.
And it's borderline dirty, but whatever.
Right.
Good for him. He's assaulting everybody.
Right.
And
we wish we had a guy like that, by the way.
Well, you know what? Kelvin Beecham can't stop Miles Garrett, but I bet during practice he could stop Leonard Williams. I mean, does he show up
Leonard
to these
Williams
games?
even play? Leonard Williams stinks. I mean, how does Leonard, how do you look yourself in the mirror every day? Because you have done nothing. 4 years with this guy. Has he made a tackle? Has he had a sack? Was he even in the game last night? Did you even know he was there?
No.
I saw Blake Cashman make plays. I saw Neville Hewitt make plays. I saw this guy I never heard of who was 92. How do you say his name? The guy that had the one sack. I never even heard of the guy till last night. I saw him make plays. Basham, that's his name.
Yeah, Terrell Basham.
I saw him make plays. And I even saw the guys in the secondary try to compete. Darryl Roberts actually got an interception later on in the game. So
I thought Hairston played all right,
I
too.
did.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
These guys actually they actually showed up and played a game last night on defense. Not Leonard Williams. Where the hell was he? He was nowhere.
Well, he is not getting a contract extension from this
team. I wouldn't give him a dime.
Because all we heard about is, he gets doubled, he gets so much attention.
I'm so tired of hearing that. Excuses of when are we ever going to see Leonard Williams dominate like Myles Garrett did last night?
Never.
You're never going to see it. You know why? Because he's not any good.
No, he's not. I think give
me a break.
I think after a few years now, we can diagnose Leonard Williams as being maybe bust is too strong. Disappointment.
He's a major disappointment.
He's a disappointment.
Major, bro.
And look, as I sat down last night at that stadium, and I'll say one compliment, and maybe it's because it was a Monday night and you went on a Sunday. I thought the crowd was awesome. I thought they were into it. I thought they were loud.
Right.
So,
right.
And again,
okay.
I think the difference, Joe, is that it's a Monday night.
Yeah.
And I'll be blunt. I think 75% of the stadium was wasted. I mean, really.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure of that.
I think the booze was flowing.
I'm sure.
And
I have no doubt.
And the place got loud. And the place was into it. So that's a positive. But I think we all knew coming in this was going to be bad.
Yep.
It's just that when you watch the bad, it hurts. Now, let's take a break from the Jets for a second because we do have breaking news. The New York Football Giants have officially announced that Daniel Jones will be the starting quarterback on Sunday.
And they should. And to be very honest with you, bro, I think it's the right move. Why waste any more time? It's inevitable, and why not do it now?
And I don't think the why is that important. The bottom line is he's doing it. I agree. I think the time is do it.
Of course.
But Eli Manning's record falling to 500 may have a lot to do with
I
this.
think you're right about that. They don't want to see Eli end his career with a losing record.
Why bother?
Yep.
And look, the other day, Pat Shurmur opened the door up by not fully committing to Eli Manning starting for this team. And I think what's become painfully obvious through 2 weeks, not to blame Eli Manning. It's not the reason they're 0-2. But it makes you think, why the hell did you bring this guy back?
Absolutely.
I mean,
why?
Because this isn't good for Eli. Was better off not being back on this team. We knew coming into this year, this was probably not going to be a stellar year for the New York Giants. We had that idea. And so 2 weeks into the season, with it not being Eli Manning's fault, no one's saying it is.
No, of course
now
not.
He's going to sit his derriere on the bench for the rest of the season.
Yep.
So I think it's a good decision. I think this is exciting if you're a Giant fan because you get a glimpse at your future. You get a chance to see Daniel Jones because this season is not about this season. See, that's the difference between the Jets and Giants. This season was supposed to be about this season for the Jets.
And here's the bottom line with Shurmur now. They have a free pass. Seriously, and I think you agree with this. Gettleman and Shurmur have a free pass the rest of the year now to develop the kid. And the clock really starts ticking on them next season.
No doubt.
That's exactly what's going on with them.
The clock is ticking on James Betcher.
Yes.
And I think that is fair.
He'd be the fall guy. Right.
And he should be.
Right.
I think he should be.
Right.
But I think with Coach Shurmur, because Mike interviewed him yesterday, and he was rough on him, but a lot of it was fair, about why should you be the guy? Why should you be the head coach? And the truth is, Pat Shurmur hasn't given you any evidence he should be the head coach of this team moving forward.
No.
But now he's got the young quarterback.
That's it.
Now he's got the pupil.
Yep.
And much like this stiff coaching the Jets will be judged by the development of Sam Darnold.
Right, if we ever see him play.
If we ever see him again, that's how Pat Shurmur is going to be judged. And now it begins. And now we get to see the Daniel Jones era. And as far as Eli is concerned, we've talked about this guy's legacy over and over again. He won 2 freaking Super Bowls. That's incredible.
Yep.
There's a very good chance that Sam Darnold's not winning 2 Super Bowls. Daniel Jones is probably not going to win 2 Super Bowls. That's a big-time accomplishment. And he was a great Giant. And I think 10 years from now, 15 years from now, even the Giant fans that gave him crap will look back on him very, very fondly.
As they should.
But all things have to end. All things eventually have to end.
All things must pass, as George Harrison said once so eloquently.
And this, it seemed as if it was not ripping off a Band-Aid, slowly taking a Band-Aid off with Eli Manning over the last 3 years. Because they could have made this change, Joe, a year ago or 2 years ago.
Yep.
The problem is they didn't have somebody to replace him with. Geno Smith was not the guy to replace him with.
No, and certainly Davis Webb wasn't either. Or Kyle Lauletta.
No. But this guy was taken number 6 overall in this draft. He was damn impressive during the preseason, and now we have a chance to see him. So the Giants make the decision. Daniel Jones will start week 3 of this NFL season.
Yep, and it's the right move by the Giants. No question about it.
A lot to talk about, and we'll kick it off now with Ty Montgomery of the New York Jets. Ty, Joe, and Evan, good to talk to you.
Ty, how are you?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing this morning?
Well, I mean, we could be doing better. I mean, you understand that, but what do you say about this game last night? I mean, obviously the quarterback your starting quarterback's out. Simeon gets hurt. I actually thought the kid didn't play terrible, Falk. But what was your overall thought process about offensively last night by the Jets?
It's just hard for us to get in a rhythm right now with guys going down, losing guys and guys having to step in that haven't really been playing as much. It's tough to find the rhythm when that's happening, and I think that's all we got to do. I think once we find it, once we figure out how to play in sync and play well together, I think everything's going to be fine. It's just going to take that one game for us to get it together. We definitely have the talent level to be able to do what we want to do. We got to figure out how to get the ball rolling.
What was the game plan offensively last night? As a fan, it certainly confused me. What was it last night?
Game plan definitely wasn't to lose Trevor after we lost Sam. I think you're going to have to talk to Coach Gase regarding the game plan. I don't want to say anything that would get me in trouble. So
I'll say it for you.
Yeah, go ahead, because I'm going to say something about the coach, too. So you could start first.
Well, here's what bothered me as a fan. And I'm sure you're a competitor, man.
Right,
I mean, you're a running back. You're a wide receiver.
Right.
You believe you can do it all.
And let me say
God
this, too.
you.
I need to see more of Ty Montgomery involved in the offense. I got to tell you, I'm not just saying that because you're here. I'm talking to you, Ty. I'm saying it right now because you're a weapon that can be used. I want to see you used more, honestly.
Yeah.
That's me. Go ahead.
What bothered me is at the end of the first half. There's 1:50 to go. You guys have a chance to get the ball with a little bit less than 2 minutes to go, and the coach lets the clock just dribble down to less than a minute to go. And at that point, there's very little time to do anything. As a competitor, I'm sure, even with Luke Falk in the game, I understand he's the third quarterback, but as a competitor, I'm sure you want every opportunity to march down the field and score some freaking points. So I know that bothered me as a fan.
Yeah, but I think it's tough. I think we as players have to do a better job of eliminating some self-inflicted wounds. Obviously, some of the calls we're going to disagree with. Some of the false start things, some of those issues, just the self-inflicted wounds we got to clean up. It makes it hard on a coach to call plays when, the first play of what felt like, I don't know if it's, authentically true, but what felt like was the first play of every drive, resulted in some sort of negative yardage.
Yeah.
And that makes it tough on a play caller.
You tell me, why do you think that stuff like that happens? What causes those kinds of mistakes? Because you're right, they're self-inflicted. You put yourself behind the eight ball. You guys didn't have great field position to begin with. So why do you think mistakes like that happen?
I think every situation is different. Honestly, I don't know. It wasn't something we were doing last week, right? So, for whatever reason, it was happening, and it's something that we have to clean up.
We're talking to Ty Montgomery, the Jets. Jets with another very difficult loss last night, 23-3 to the Browns, and they got a real easy one coming up this week as they go to Foxborough, and we'll get to that. But Ty, here's beside the 12 penalties, because the defense played well, but they made a couple penalties that cost them points. I mean, Jamal Adams had a roughing the passer, cost a field goal. Hairston had on a fourth down, he would have got off the field on a defensive hold that cost a touchdown. So he had a couple of those plays, even though I thought the defense played all right. But here's what really got me aggravated. 16-3. You guys are still in the game. You got a 3rd and 2 on the 12 or 11-yard line, and you got Le'Veon Bell back there. And what's he doing? The brilliant head coach, he's throwing the ball in the end zone. 3rd and 2. How about giving Le'Veon the ball twice on 3rd and 2 to get that fourth down, to get the first down? Because you're going for it on fourth down. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe. Or give you the run on 3rd and 2. Something, but don't throw the damn ball in the end zone. What are you doing? Ty, unbelievable. I couldn't believe that. Your thoughts?
I gotta say, I'm very appreciative of y'all's passion. It means a lot. Y'all care.
Oh, we care, all right. We do. I got the scars on my body for 55 years rooting for this team. Believe me, I can't, Ty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think one thing we got to be careful of, as all of us are Jets fans. We all want to see the Jets be successful. I think one thing we have to be careful of is living in the hindsight. And if that ball is completed to Robbie, or if the ball is completed downfield, I don't think we'd be saying this.
But Ty, can I say this to you, Ty? Can I stop you? I was screaming it before the play happened. Well, I'm watching the game. I'm saying 3rd and 2. Okay, you got to give the ball to Le'Veon here, don't we? Got to give the ball to Le'Veon twice to get the first down, don't we? And he's throwing the ball in the end zone. What? With the 3rd-string quarterback. What? I couldn't believe it. I'm sorry, Ty. I'm sorry. This was not a second guess. This was a first guess before the play even happened. Before it even happened. So I just want to tell you that, okay? I just want to let you know that.
I hear you. I appreciate it. But if I look at that and I see that, and I'm just trying to stay positive and optimistic,
I know what you're doing. I get it.
And keep, and just keep putting the right things out there in the air for us to take advantage of and for us to grasp.
Well, you should be in the game plan more. You're a guy that can catch the football out of the backfield. You're a guy that can run with the football. You're an extra weapon on his team, and I think Le'Veon's been great. I'm going to exonerate him on the fumble because he was working his rear end off, and the game was over at that point anyway at 23-3. But I need to see you incorporated more in his game plan. I mean, I got to say that. I'm aggravated, Ty.
I can tell, and it's warranted, right? The Jets had another bad performance on offense, and I get that. I understand that. But we have things that we're gonna clean up in the house, eliminate some self-inflicted wounds, and once we get this thing rolling, and once we get it figured out, and we get this offense in sync, this offense is gonna be a problem. I think I've said it multiple times during training camp and in preseason that I feel like our offense can only stop ourselves, and that's kind of what's been happening.
Well, here's a positive, and we're talking to Ty Montgomery. Luke Falk eventually looked good.
He didn't look bad.
Considering here's a guy, and I know he was there at camp, and then you move on from him, right, and now you bring him back, and now he's in this football game, and you said it at the top, the game plan certainly wasn't to lose Trevor Siemian, who's a capable backup. Luke Falk ended up looking halfway decent. What'd you think overall about the adjustment he had to make? Because I'm sure he's not thinking he's going to end up in this game having to throw the football, 30 times or whatever it was.
Yeah, I don't even think he was active until right before the game. So I'm sure he wasn't thinking that. But we all know injuries happen, and it's a possibility. But yeah, I thought he looked good. I thought he looked really good. Especially for his first time getting in there, given the situation and how everything happened. I thought he played his butt off.
I know how Joe and I reacted when we heard the news that Sam Darnold had mono.
Unbelievable.
What was your initial reaction? You've been around this game before. I don't know if you've ever heard of any NFL player getting mono and missing time. So what was Ty Montgomery's reaction when you heard the news that the starting quarterback has mono and will miss a few weeks?
I was like, dang, for real? I was like, all right, Trev, here we go. It's just like a so what, now what mentality. Just, all right, it happened. There's nothing we can do about it. No sense in dwelling on it and trying to figure out why and what's going on. We just gotta move forward.
Again, we're talking to Ty Montgomery. Now, Ty, and again, I look as a Jet fan, and where I'm coming from, I look at the schedule and I say, you guys are going 0-6. I mean, I got to be honest with you. You got to go to Foxborough to play the Patriots. Forget that. Okay, that's like Alabama playing Rutgers as far as I'm concerned. Then you got the bye week. Okay, then it's the bye week, and then you play the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Patriots again. What makes me think that this team's not going to be 0-6? I mean, I got to be honest as a fan, and I'm not getting on you. I'm just asking you because, and I appreciate you coming on, because maybe a lot of guys that wouldn't come on here today with us, and I appreciate that. But, I mean, as a Jet fan, I look at the schedule and I say, how the hell are we winning any of these games?
Do you guys believe in the power of manifestation?
What is that? You got to tell me what that is.
It's basically a thought process that you put out into the air that eventually becomes true. I listened to a podcast and the guy basically said, if you write a lie on a card and you read it and tell yourself that and believe it every day long enough, eventually it'll become true. Now just imagine if an entire stadium of Jets fans is all thinking the same thing that you're thinking right now. That energy is out there, and it's bad energy. And, as players, it's something we feel. As players, we feel the support and the belief, from our fans that we can do well, that we can play well, that we can go out there and win. So I don't look at the schedule and say, how in the world did we not go 0-6? I look at the schedule and say that we are being pruned to do something great. We're going through adversity right now, but it's only gonna make us battle tested.
Did you sense last night? I was in the building last night. I thought the crowd was very into it. I thought the crowd was loud. They got excited. Yeah. Did you sense negative energy last night, or did you think we were positive? What was your sense for the crowd last night then?
No. I just mean, I thought the crowd was into it. It's Monday Night Football. Everyone's loving it. Everyone's having a great time. But we can't be sitting here saying we're going to go 0-6 before we even play the next game. We're only 0-2 right now. There's still plenty of time to make a run. And to get everything figured out. There's a lot of things that are happening outside of our control that no one expected to happen. That's, sort of causing us to make some adjustments on the fly and figure out how to get it sync and just get connected with one another.
But let me say this, Ty, and I understand what you're saying about the positive and negative energy, but, for a guy that's been a Jet fan since, 1965 and hasn't been to a Super Bowl in 50 years, it's hard to be positive. I got to be honest with you. But that's something that you guys, and I start with the coaching staff, really. Let's start with Gaze and the coaching staff, because it starts with those guys, okay, putting you guys in the right position and making the right play calls to get the job done. But to me, it starts with the coaching staff, but it's up to the coaching staff and the players to change the mentality. You know what I'm saying? To change that negative thought process. Okay, here it comes again. It's the same old I've been watching for all these years. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I mean, Ty?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I'm just saying I think you got to be careful of, one bad play or one bad game or two bad plays or two bad games. We got to be careful of the here we go again and then dooming the rest of the season because of it.
Last night, I assumed, and I think I'm wrong about this, but you can confirm this. I assumed that once Simeon went down and Luke Falk was the quarterback, that if something happened to Luke Falk, and the way Myles Garrett was getting in that backfield, you never know. I assumed that the guy to step in and be the quarterback would be you.
Yeah.
Was that not true? Was it going to be Le'Veon Bell, or was it really going to be you?
You or Le'Veon, one of them.
I plead the fifth.
Can you throw the football, Ty? How about that? How'd you roll?
He can throw the football.
Of course you can. Didn't you play quarterback a little bit in high school, or maybe at Stanford? Did you do that a little bit?
I did in high school.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'll tell you something else. Now, maybe I wasn't uber focused when I saw this, but I was watching pregame. I saw Ty unleash left-handed. Aren't you a lefty, Ty?
Are you a lefty, Ty?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I knew I saw that, right? I love it.
Guys know Steve Young.
Exactly.
Kenny Stabler. Boomer. You know?
And you had a good eye. I saw you throw one football. I was like, you know what? This guy's got a little bit of an arm.
How many times did you touch the ball last night? 3?
More than that. I think 8.
Was it 8?
Yeah.
I think 6. I think I had three checkdowns and 3 carries.
Right. You need to touch the ball more. You really do. You do. I'm just telling you. Adam, by the way, Adam Gaze, do you remember number 88? He's on the team. I'm just pointing it out to Gaze. I just want to tell him in case, while he's, devising all these brilliant ideas because he's such a brilliant offensive mind, let me just remind him that Ty Montgomery's on the team.
Yeah, but it's moving up. I think week 1 it was 2 or 3 touches. Now it's up to 6.
So you should be good for about 20 in the Patriot game, right?
By week 9, you'll be at 30.
Right.
It'll be all over the place.
No, you know what? He'll give him the ball in the bye week. In the bye week, he'll give you the ball. That's what
all right, Ty.
I love you guys.
Ty, you've had enough of us today. I know. And I appreciate you coming on, man. Really. I really do.
Of course.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Hell of a job. Ty Montgomery.
Good luck in Foxborough. God knows you'll need it. All right, Ty?
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
There you go. All right, bro.
Ty Montgomery in his weekly spot. We'll actually talk to Alec Ogletree a little bit later on about the New York Giants, and certainly huge Giant news. Daniel Jones, officially the starting quarterback for the Giants.